This conference will now be recorded. This
Robert
conference
Ladd.
will now be recorded.
If you forget them, just look at me and I'll fill in. Give me the sign. Like this, go like this. Yes. ACA Word, are we recording? Yeah. How's it going, Byron? Okay, how you doing? What's up? Gunner one. Peanut and filters. Yes, very good. You ready to kick this thing off? Let's go. Very good. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I call to order this meeting of the Sedalia City Council. First item on our agenda is legislative prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Chaplain Matson, you have the floor.
You stand as able and join me in an invocation. Dear Lord and Father of us all, we come to you this evening to ask your guidance as the City Council of Sedalia, mayor, administrators, staff, and ward members meet to hear about, question, discuss, and make decisions for the betterment of our city and all of its people. We ask for protection for all of our first responders, city, county, state, who work 24/7 to serve and protect us, often at their own peril. And tonight, particularly, the fire department has two badge pinnings for Robert Ladd and Parker
Stevens.
I'm sorry.
Parker Stevens.
Thank you. Anyway, badge pinnings. Here are two men who have gone through training and are now joining our wonderful fire department here in Sedalia. So we are particularly pleased and happy that we can say that this evening. We are grateful for the United States of America, our constitutional republic, for which so many thousands have fought and died to create and preserve for 248 years. We ask your blessing and protection for all of our military and civilians serving our great country today, here and throughout the world. We ask that you bring them home safely to be with their loved ones during this holiday season. And during this particular time, let us remember the real reason for the season when so much commercial activity seems to take our time and energy. We pray for a blessed Christmas and a happy and healthy new year for all of us, for our great country. And now as we leave tonight, please protect us and our loved ones, keep us from harm, especially during this holiday time as we travel. And all this we pray in the name of our risen Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Robinson.
Yes.
Oldham.
Here.
Marshall.
Here.
Bogus.
Here.
Hiller.
Here.
Cross.
Here.
Foster.
Here.
Bliss.
Here. All right, next item we have is a public hearing regarding the 2025-2026 strategic plan and budget. ACA Wirt, would you introduce this?
Yes, we plan to have our strategic budget plan for the next fiscal year on January 11th. This gives our citizens the opportunity to provide some input on the next year's budget. These items would then be possibly considered in the strategic budget session on January 11th.
Thank you, ACA Wirt. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we now open the first public hearing regarding the fiscal year 2025-2026 strategic plan and budget. At this time, any party interested in providing public statement is invited to step to the microphone. Please state your name and address clearly for the record. You have 3 minutes to present your statement. We ask that all comments remain respectful, focused, and on the matters at hand. So we'll go ahead and open up the floor. Anybody would like to give a comment, please step forward. Anyone? Come on, get your 3 minutes.
Hi, guys. Just a couple quick things as we're talking about this budget. I'd really like you guys to be mindful about how quickly you've already come back to change the 2025 budget. Almost every meeting, you guys are making amendments to the 2025 budget. So I'd really like you guys to put some thought into actually planning ahead, okay? I know some things that I've seen skyrocket in the last few years of the budget is legal services. We're 3x, 4x in just a matter of basically from 2020 to 2024 current. And I don't even think, at least currently, we actually know the total for this year. Those are some things that, you know, just adds up. Yeah, those are my largest things. Let's go too big for the budget so that every week, every 2 weeks, we're not coming back adding. God, sometimes it's $100,000, $250,000, $1 million we need to add to the budget, and you're not really giving the citizens a true expectation of the costs of the city running, so that we can make informed decisions about what we want, who we want to represent, things of those matters. If the true cost of everything that we're actually trying to do is just hitting, 6 weeks down the line on a council meeting that happens in the middle of the week that maybe not even anybody knows what's going on. And then it's decided on and we get to see you guys vote. But again, we know the actual decisions are made during the week, not here at these council meetings. You guys aren't changing your minds on the things you're voting on while you're sitting here. So, thank you guys.
Could I get your name and address, please?
Yeah. If we could get your name for the record and your address.
Corey, 1804 South Park.
Thank you. All right, and anyone else?
My name is Gary Lowball. I live at 821 South Arlington Avenue. I don't know how strategic it is that we need to have in our new budget a project manager. We have a city administrator. We're going to be appointed. Why pay somebody that wants to get out and retire? What does he have to really offer as a project? What is a project manager anyway? Explain it to simple me what a project manager is going to do that a city administrator already can't do. So.
Thank you, Mr. Lowell. Anyone else? All right, well, I'm not seeing anyone else. We'll go ahead and close this public hearing. We'll go ahead and move on to the second public hearing of the evening. This is in regard to the expansion of the 353 redevelopment plan. ACA Wirt, would you please discuss?
Yes, in 2020, the city of Sedalia passed the 353 Redevelopment Corporation. There was a section of the downtown that has been left out of that, and the discussion is to bring that into the Redevelopment Corporation.
Okay, very good. With that, we will now open the second public hearing of the evening. This is on the expansion of the 353 redevelopment plan. Any interested parties who wish to provide a public statement should approach the microphone, state their name, address for the record. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. So we'll go ahead and open that up.
Gary Lowball, 821 South Arlington Avenue. I would like to know who is on this corporation. I would like to have it transparent. I would like to know all the members before. I know we're probably going to have a vote on it later and everything like that, but I just want to know who these people are and if their willingness to serve and to help today is not motivated by anything other than just wanting to help.
Thank you, Mr. Lowell. Anyone else? Not seeing anybody, we'll go ahead and,
Debbie Covington, 2601 East 12th. My question is, well, I don't have any questions to the redevelop, or the 353 project. My question is, if you all don't have dialogue with us, and we're going to ask questions about the project, when are you going to answer them? Are you going to have another forum so we can ask more questions? But you're not going to answer the question, so how will we get our answers
Mrs. Covington, the purpose of the public hearing is for you to provide a public statement to the council, not to pose questions to the council. If you could confine that to the matter at hand, please.
Well, I think we should all have dialogue so we can have our questions answered, but are you guys, if you're going to vote on this tonight, what's the point of having a forum for us to speak about this project that everybody's in the dark about? You put a classified ad in the Sedalia Democrat about this public forum that most people...
Mrs. Covington, this is not a public forum. This is a public hearing for you to provide statement.
Yeah, and it was a classified ad in the Sedalia Democrat that no one would know about if there wasn't people talking about it on social media to get people here to know there was a public hearing or whatever you want to call it. But is there going to be something down the line for the public to be able to come together to talk to the council about what this 353 project is about, what it's going to do, and what it's going to accomplish, and how it's going to be a benefit to the community?
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else who would like to provide a public statement?
Hi guys, Corey City, 1804 South Park. Really guys, before you make any decisions on creating expansion, I think you guys should just think about what are you doing with what you currently have? Has anything been done with those? I think the answer from the citizens is probably going to be a no. So we're going to take something that isn't really doing anything and we're going to expand its footprint to continue to not really do anything. So if the city owns these 300 and however many buildings, again, I've asked this before, please just make a list, put them up for sale, and let people who want to develop them and maybe have some enthusiasm and funding to develop them. But to me, creating them in some development zone, which I would assume the city probably owns quite a bit of that property, what's the city doing with it? So if the city just controls more of it and continues to not do anything with it, is Sedalia getting redeveloped? It's just kind of being land grabbed for what, again, citizens just end up thinking is nefarious purposes. That's what goes on. So if nobody knows what's going on, and again, the development board met when last? November, I think. And if you look at the minutes to that, the agenda, it says nothing. It says nothing. And again, if a citizen wants the transcript of that, they've got to contact someone and pay for a transcript of a public meeting. So again, think about what you've done. Maybe make a progress report. Maybe prove it to everybody in town that this is a worthwhile venture. But instead, you guys are just saying, well, we're going to do it because we think it's good. So here, come make a public comment that we posted again in a paper that unfortunately not very many people still get or read. Yet this meeting got posted to Facebook, but we know it. But again, the council meeting got posted, but nobody said about anything about the open forum. These documents, you guys could post a PDF. Do you guys need Google Drive space? Do you need it? If you just send it to me, I'll provide a link and share it out so everybody can read it. But the idea that, if you want to see this, you got to come read it in person on paper. It's the same with, so nobody's going to come read it, and you guys are going to do whatever the fuck you guys are going to do. Sorry. But yeah, that's what happens. Do you guys know? Did anybody come read it? Did any citizen come down and get the paper copy and read it? So, do you think that's really an informed citizens being able to come up and talk to you about it or give you any advice? Did you talk to anybody outside of yourselves about this? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. City. Anyone else?
Michelle Alney, 1800 East Harvey Street. So I did some research on the Redevelopment Corporation, and it looks like the city doesn't actually own this corporation. It's owned by a few council people. I'm not understanding how all of that works, but I did find out that you guys allotted money out of the city's budget to buy these two properties that the Redevelopment Corporation owns. I don't understand how we can use city money when the city doesn't own the corporation. So I would like information about that.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Abbey. Anyone else?
Hi, this is Kevin Lujan at 408 West 22nd Street. I think there's several things around here that would help clarify a decision. One, how many properties has the city demolished in this zone? Two, how much has Lawbur Municipal Law billed the city working toward this? I think the number of hours and the dollars spent would be helpful to figure out if this is a worthwhile endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Luke. Anyone else? All right, having heard none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Moving along to special awards. We're going to go and invite up Chief Irwin to go ahead and present.
Good evening, everybody. I get the next two, I believe, right?
That is correct.
If I could get Firefighter Stevens, Firefighter Ladd. Come on up, guys. Thank you, sir. Mr. Stevens will be badge pinned by his girlfriend, Kelsey, TikTok star. And Firefighter Ladd will be pinned by his wife, Emmy. Tonight we get to celebrate the start of two careers, one for the second time. Firefighter Ladd and Firefighter Parker Stevens have met all the requirements to earn their badge for the city of Sedalia and wear the firefighter tag proudly. Firefighter Ladd started with us a few years ago. He was lured away by another department and the bright lights of the big city. But as a testament to the management of the department, the city's willingness to support its employees and the little things that make the Sedalia Fire Department and the city of Sedalia great, we were able to lure him back. Firefighter Stevens is a lifelong member of the county, right? You've always lived in Pettis County. He is a 2021 graduate of the Green Ridge R8 School District. Played on the soccer team. I got to coach him. I've known him for a very long time. He will be a great firefighter. Both of these gentlemen have met the requirements to wear their badge. I am proud of both of them. I can't wait to see where they lead themselves and this department in the future. And I'm excited for their growth and to see them succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Firefighter Ladd, Firefighter Parker Stevens. Gentlemen. All right, next on my agenda, or the agenda, I would like to call up the representatives from Owens Corning, Timmy Burnett, Ryan Durrell, and Mike Hilburn. Hopefully I pronounced all those correct. Before they speak, if they want to speak. A few things to point out. Owens Corning has always been a very great supporter of the city of Sedalia and fire prevention within the Sedalia Fire Department. A few years ago, when we were discussing the fire extinguisher demonstrator, Owens Corning was the first to jump on, get on board with that. They have always been a safety first and support of the fire department. I can't thank them enough for their donation this evening to the Sedalia Fire Department. That will be going into our fire prevention program to buy smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, and to fix the extinguisher demonstrator. So with that, I will let you guys, if anybody wants to speak.
We appreciate this time and appreciate our ability to help the fire department with the very practical and very worthy cause of the demo is great for the fact that you can help people learn how to use an actual fire extinguisher, which can be very crazy and chaotic if you've never used one. But also to put these life-saving appliances, the smoke detectors and CO detectors, into homes of families that maybe they cannot afford them or are able to get them. So we have, greatly happy that we can support this and be a part of it.
Guys, anybody? Okay. We'll stand there and take that. Mr. Mayor, would you like to take the check?
Oh, no, you can. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, Chief Irwin.
Sorry, it was for $1,500.
Very good. Okay, next item on our agenda is the approval of the previous session minutes. These are from the council meeting dated December 2nd, 2024. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any recommendations for adjustments to the minutes? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Now we have the roll call of our standing committees. Up first is Public Safety. Chairman Robinson, you have the floor.
Report from the annual report from the Sedalia Pettis County Emergency Management Agency.
Hello. I'm actively trying to lose my voice, so I'll try to talk loud. Let's click this over. So what is EMA? I think Benjamin Franklin said it best: by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. We do a lot of emergency preparedness in my office. We do a lot of organization and management with resources. One of our goals is to reduce harmful effects of all hazards, including disasters. We build, sustain, and improve the capabilities to mitigate against, prepare for, respond to, and recover from any actual or man-made disaster or act of terrorism. And I'm having my phone, so I make sure I don't talk a long time for you guys. What we do, we have an EMA volunteer program. It's all volunteer hours. We have a Skywarn program with our storm spotters that actively go out and storm spot during tornadoes and severe weather. We have a lot of EMA exercises that are local in the region. I'm involved with the state committee with the exercises in our region, and it's really important to be on that state committee so that there's a voice with our rural counties, so you're not competing with our urban counties, because then we kind of get to dictate a little bit more input with our training, what we're having in our region, and where we want to host these classes in our region. A big push last year was Pedro, the Preparedness Penguin program for little kids. I can get free coloring books from FEMA, and it comes in several different languages. We have English and Spanish. They're cute little books. We do get them for free. So if anybody has kids or grandkids, we like to hand those out. It takes a little bit to get them shipped. And there's also games that's associated with this program. It's very visual. So if you go talk to like the Cub Scouts, it's a visual game, and they can associate with Pedro. And we do a lot of the special events coordination. If there's a major event in Sedalia, we have a national line to the National Weather Service to monitor the weather during those events. And you can see these are just basically meetings that we participate. Usually they're monthly meetings or regional meetings. Like a Region A healthcare coalition is you have somebody from your EMA department, your public or Pettis County Public Health, and the hospital. So we're always coordinating within those groups. Another one is the Local Emergency Planning District. That used to be our LEPC group. That's our hazardous material. So it's more geared towards your fire department, and there's stuff in there. And then this year we did the Terrorism Liaison Officer. So it was like a 4-hour online course. But what that is it's a class with state or Missouri State Patrol, and it's national, but they focus on Missouri. So if there's a lot of stuff going in Missouri, if there's bomb threats, they're keeping track of that. So they push that information out to our office, and in turn, we push it out to PD and the sheriff's office or whoever the stakeholders are. So that's been a good program. And then if there's anything nationally we need to be aware of just to watch in Missouri. So we're just keeping all those acts and reporting back to them. Just a quick review of 2024. Our local emergency operations plan is due every 2 years. So it's been updated, and I've actually already had my state audit. We passed with flying colors, so we're good for another 2 years. Our hazard mitigation plan, if you remember, we did last year with our actions at all of our communities. We completed it last year. It took a little while for FEMA to approve it. It officially got approved in June, and our SOC helped us write that. I'm not sure why that took so long, but we are good. We need that plan. So if we ever have a disaster, and the hazard mitigation money comes about, we have to be compliant with that plan. The Skyline storm shelters, we had a huge water issue there. They did renovations. The school helped out there. So that shelter is a lot better than what it was. It still does have a little water in it. The New Madrid zone preparation meetings, that's the earthquake. And why is that important? It's because we have the respite site at the Missouri State Fair. And so these meetings are with your state. There's actually FEMA there and the other states that this earthquake affects. So there's been a big push on that and the planning, how to get those people evacuated. So if they ever come to the state fair, the goal is when they go there, you refuel them, you give them resources, and then you would push them out and they would go to a shelter. The National Weather Service, it's about every other year. We have our integrated weather team, and it's all of our region, plus your Derek National Service and your news anchors that you actually see on TV. And we discuss a lot of problems, like how are we getting the information out, what's working, what's not working. As you know, this year we had a lot of radar-indicated tornadoes. 15 years ago, those wouldn't have been tornado warnings. Our technology is so much better. Radar indicated, they know that it's probably going to be a 0 or 1, but yes, it could blow down a tree and it could hit a car. They're wanting people to go inside, but it's not going to be an ESF3 or an ESF5, so how can we better get that information out to the community? This year, I had all my classes. I got my advanced professional certification. I don't know why my slide's cutting off, sorry. And it was just one class that I was missing, so I was finally able to obtain that. EMA volunteers, I was just giving you a snapshot. We have 32 personnel on our roster. We spent about 160 hours of training hours, actually storm spotting hours for them to be able to go out with 44 hours. We test sirens monthly. It's the first of every month, and we have about 108 man-hours in testing the sirens. Training and courses, I do have a new deputy director, and their first year they have to go to a lot more classes. You have to have them get certified within that first year. And so those are our hours of 2 full-time employees together. And then our exercises is about 52 hours, and it's important to share this with all your key stakeholders when we do our exercises, what we're going to learn from it. So some of the exercises we participated in was a tabletop train derailment. We had a cybersecurity exercise. It was for a region. There's been a lot of cyber issues, even at nursing homes or hospitals that really aren't that far from us, but you're just not seeing it on the news. So it's something that we're trying to gear up, and how are we going to be better about that when it hits us. And we also did Slack. It's a new thing that the National Weather Service did. It's free. It's a chat room, and it's with all of your different EMAs, your storm spotters from other counties, and it's live, and it also has the media on there. But if I post a picture in it, they can't take that picture and instantly put it on TV. They have to have permission. So it is kind of neat. Like if we're monitoring a storm from Topeka, you're seeing that all the way, because I can go to different chat rooms. so that's been really beneficial. Upcoming training, we have a crisis leadership and decision-making that's open to the public. It's 4 hours. It's May 13th. It's going to be a seminar, lessons learned, challenges as they went through that disaster, so it would be a pretty good one. 2 classes, September 23rd and 24th, are going to be for social media engagement and strategies, and then how we're going to better, during a disaster, how we're going to get that information out, what's beneficial to our communities. Oh, and then we are doing some of our trainings. Like this year, I went to a disease training for animals and agriculture, and we build upon that. So we're designing an exercise, a tabletop and then a functional exercise for the region. We haven't had to do a lot with large animals. So Missouri as a state, there's been a lot of bird flu, and we know what to do when bird flu hits the farm, but we haven't done any exercises involving cattle, so if we ever had a foot-mouth disease outspread. So we're designing that. We're trying to get with some local sale barns. Sedalia doesn't have a sale barn anymore, so we're trying to get Windsor or Kingsville because they're in our region. But the state vet will be there, and we're trying to get our local vet there as well. So I think that'll be really beneficial to go through that process. I'm kind of geeking out here, but this is some statistics from the actual city of Sedalia. This year we had 115 weather advisories. An advisory can be a winter advisory, it could be a lot of fog, any of those advisories. We had 38 severe thunderstorm watches or warnings in the city of Sedalia. That's about 74 storm monitoring hours. We don't start monitoring a storm right when it hits Sedalia. We're monitoring it when it's far away, because we can have a severe thunderstorm warning all the way up to Johnson County or all the way up to Henry County. So for our actual tornado watches or warnings, we had 43 hours, so that's 43 hours of our volunteers that were out, and our shelters, we had 8 shelters, Sedalia has 2 shelters that I maintain, and then you guys have a high school that has 1, so you have 3 shelters currently, including the 5 purchase sirens. They're not all up and running yet, but close, right?
They're all
Operational, so it'll be our first, ready to go. Okay. So it'll be our first actual hearing them, will be the 1st of January, but I think that's on a holiday, so it'll be that following Wednesday. EMA equipment, just a quick review of what we have. The Ed trailer, I have a portable asset for the county, and it has a lot of crates for dogs or cats. It has a 30-foot yurt tent, if we would need to put them in that tent. I have a deployable generator trailer. I have a couple small generators. This one's light powered. It's a taller light. It's a softer light, but it does give out a lot of light, and these are all, if anybody wants them, it should be mobile post tenant operated. And then I have one Mustang portable. So I have an emergency management performance grant, and it comes from FEMA. It comes federally, it comes down to the state, and then the state divvies out locally. This grant has been hit severe in the last 2 years. I used to pay a significant amount of my budget, and this year they just said that they're just paying just shy of 50% of our salaries, and you can have up to 3 employees. If you would eliminate a position, they're not going to give you more money to go towards benefits. It's just for that salary, and that's how they decided to do it statewide. These are the budget estimates. My overall budget, I had an 8.5 increase. My EMPG covers a little over 48,000. The county's portion is a little over 95,000, and the Sedalia's portion is a little over 71,000. These are just estimates. What really significantly went up in my budget is I have a lot of equipment repairs. All of those deployable trailers I was talking about, I have a lot of expired medical supplies that need to be replaced, tires on every single one of my trailers that need to be replaced this year. And then one of my light towers, my fan and my light needs replaced, and I have a heater that needs some work on. New equipment, I requested an additional portable Mosin radio. This is significant, so I'm able to communicate with all the other departments. And then one was a grant that the PD actually wrote. We would owe 50%. It was put in this year's budget, but I'm not going to get the invoice until next year, so we put that into the 2025 budget. those radios are, I'm sure you're well aware, they're very expensive. Looking forward, we're hosting some classes this upcoming year. It's really good to get them local. So like we were fortunate this year because we had incident command training. It was 300 and 400. Those classes combined 5 days. And it would be your first responders, senior levels that go to them. So a lot of times if they go, they're driving to Kansas City or farther away. So we hosted 2 of those. So we're getting more local classes here in Pettis County or Sedalia. And then in 2026, it's kind of early to talk about, but FIFA is the World Cup for soccer. And it's significant for you guys next June and July. It's going to depend on if we get a popular team in Kansas City. The hotels are already booked an hour away from the stadium now. So if there's anything major going on in June or July, we might want to start booking hotels. And soccer is like one of the deadliest sports for fans. I personally don't know a lot about soccer, but I know that the soccer fans are just a little bit different. So we'll be meeting with a lot of your fire departments and police chiefs to go over that. We're updating our hazard vulnerability assessment. We're always gearing towards the Missouri State Fair, and we're working on that impact exercise with agriculture. And we're always, for any businesses, we're doing our preparedness outreach program throughout the year. So if you ever know, or anybody that would want some recoloring books and stuff that I can get from the Ready.gov site is more than welcome to contact my office. Do I have any questions?
Any questions, Council? All right.
Even sound effects. There you go. You guys got to step up your game.
I really didn't mean to do that. I didn't.
All right. Thank you, Trent.
Anybody want?
I think that's everything we have for public safety. Next, we have Finance and Administration. Chairman Bogus, you have the floor.
And tonight I'm turning the floor over to Councilman Fuller.
I'm going to take over for the 2 items tonight. Councilwoman Boggs is a little bit of a sore throat. But we only have 2 items. First one is a financial update from Finance Director Pyle.
Good evening. So we are looking at October sales at the store locations in sales and use tax fiscal year to date, which will be the second set of numbers. We are up fiscal year to date over $900,000 or 6.6% over the same time last year. If you remember, we budgeted a 4% increase, so we are over budget in the amount of $356,660 fiscal year to date. Marijuana tax is the additional 3% sales tax collected on site. That started in October of 2023. We didn't have any reportings for October sales that we collected this month. So usually they catch up in future months. So that's why the month to date is in A, but fiscal year to date we collected over $172,000 in the marijuana tax. The franchise tax is lower than same time last year of over $500,000. This is primarily due to the charter settlement on the streaming video class action settlement that we received in April of 2023 in last fiscal year. The remaining $140,000 decrease is primarily due to the natural gas, which is down 39% fiscal year to date. Transportation tax is higher fiscal year to date. That's due to higher gasoline tax of 8.7% fiscal year to date. Vehicle sales are flat fiscal year to date, and vehicle fees are down 1.2% fiscal year to date. That is all in the transportation tax. And then property taxes, the bulk of those come in December and January. So next month we'll see a significant collection there.
Council, have any questions for Director Pyle? Thank you. All right.
Second item I have tonight is the annual pub crawl with the Lions Pub is coming up in March. So we need to go ahead and pass an ordinance to waive the open container law for that event.
All right, call for the reading of the ordinance waiving the requirements of Section 4-3A of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Sedalia.
Bill number 2024-219, an ordinance waiving the requirements of Section 4-3A of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, and imposing other conditions relating to the Sedalia Lions Club pub crawl on Saturday, March 15, 2025, during the hours of noon to 7 p.m. in downtown Sedalia.
Second reading.
Second. A motion and a second for the second reading of this ordinance. Do I have any council discussion regarding the bill that's on the floor? Having heard none, all those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2024-219, an ordinance waiving the requirements of section 4.3A of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, and imposing other conditions relating to the Sedalia Lions Club pub crawl on Saturday, March 15, 2025, during the hours of noon to 7 p.m. in downtown Sedalia.
Final passage.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the final passage of this bill. Do I have any council discussion regarding it? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Robinson.
Yes.
Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
August. Hiller.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Bliss.
Yes.
All in favor.
Motion passes. That's all we have for you,
That is correct. That's all.
Vice Chairman Oldham. Next, we have Public Works. Chairman Hiller, you have the floor.
We have 9 items tonight. First one, Utilities Director Bill Bracken. Bill Bracken will continue this year's presentation. Strategic planning for each department. Director Bracken will present at this meeting an overall view of the plans for the utility department.
Thank you. So, to start with water, the water treatment plant has treated 1.186 million, or 1.186 billion gallons of water in the last 12 months. Usage has been increasing for the last 12 years. That water is all sourced from the 6 wells at the water treatment plant and the 4 that are within the system. Primarily, we're just removing iron and providing disinfection at the treatment plant. There's a list of staff there. This year, we moved the distribution crew and the collections crew at wastewater over to utility operator positions from equipment operator positions. And this allowed us to give a little bit more pay based on their level of certification that they have obtained. And this has helped keep employees there because they see a future in the job, and the ability to make more pay as time goes on and they get certifications. The water staff works to maintain the water system along with installing new hydrants. They responded to 148 emergency repairs in the last 12 months and also completed their regular duties. Projects in progress. Currently working on repairs to the solar array at the plant. The solar was flooded 2 years ago and sustained damage, so we're going to fix that. We have a well that hadn't been used since 1903, and it's very shallow, so we're going to get it plugged. And then Prairie Hollow, and working on getting it for Grand Avenue Water Line replacement between 20 and 24. Future projects. This is a list of areas that were identified by engineers that would need replaced to provide better fire flow. Different areas of town. Some of these could also be upsized to help provide water to areas to kind of help disperse them, to spur growth in those areas. Water pollution control has treated approximately 1.6 billion gallons of water in the last 12 months through the 3 wastewater plants. 187 miles of sewer lines, and 280 manholes, 18 lift stations. The pre-treatment program has 5 permitted industries. Those are important to catch some of the pollutants before they go into the wastewater plants and cause problems there. It's easier to treat a smaller amount of water at the industry than to wait until it gets to the treatment plant and you're treating a lot more water. And they also complete inspections at all the industries shown. And then we have a list of the staff that's required to run the department. We also changed the pay rates there to make them equal with other municipalities and help with employee retention. Kind of the same as on the water. The pay is based on the level of certification that they have with the Department of Natural Resources. this year, as you guys all know, we purchased the new vac truck, and, it's already helped out quite a bit, not having to make the repairs, constantly like we were with the old one. We also just got in the Roush Head Cutter truck. It performs a bunch of different tasks and, takes the place of some of the older equipment that we've gotten rid of. And then here's a list of, projects that have been identified by our staff of areas of town that need replacement in the future. I know it looks pretty substantial, but it's just a result of the old clay pipe and old town. Central plant, we've been replacing the grids in the aeration basin. We put in new, more efficient blowers that should be online here in January. And then we're working on replacing parts of the headworks to prevent the rags from flooding the equipment. A lot of the problems that we've been having with pumps at the plants have been caused by the rags getting in and getting caught around everything. And then in the future, we're working on the design process for North Plant. It's due by the end of March 2024, and the construction is supposed to begin in July 25. And that'll also include some improvements in Central. We're working currently, where we can, to be more cost effective on I&I reduction. The crews, we've had out, sealing and grouting manholes. So some of them sit in lower areas and they have gaps around them. So we've been working to try to fix small issues and in hopes that they'll, save a bigger issue down the line. Here's the schedule for North Plant. The next thing we'll be asking is for the screenings for Central Plant.
William, can you go back one slide?
Yes, sir.
So on this, March 2024, that should actually read March 2025 and July of 2026, correct?
No, the design's actually due by March of this year.
Okay.
And the construction is supposed to begin.
Okay, very good.
I think that shows on this one as well. Yeah. Then the one everybody wants to hear about rates. So with the increase in inflation of about 17% in the construction industry, we do have a need to look at rates again and try to increase. Burns and McDonnell in 2023, whenever they did their rate study, had included rates increasing in 2023 and 2024. As you know, we did not raise those rates. It's my recommendation to do those in smaller amounts over a period of time instead of waiting until we have a big issue and then jumping the rate up quite a bit. So I believe that we need to start working on the small rate increases this year. And then we can use those to repair some of those areas that were identified. Questions?
Any questions, Council?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next, the Missouri Department of Natural Resources has directed this project to enhance sewer and infrastructure by extending services from the Central Regional Lift Station to the north, providing essential sewer access to Wire Company. This incentive not only ensures regulatory compliance, but also strengthens the legal economy by supporting the Wire Company operations and fostering the company's long-term commitment to Sedalia.
All right, call for the reading of the ordinance authorizing the agreement.
Bill number 2024-220, an ordinance authorizing the agreement for small sanitary sewer project A.
Second reading?
Second.
I have a motion and a second reading of this bill. Do you have any council discussion regarding it? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2024-220, an ordinance authorizing an agreement for small sanitary sewer project A.
Final passage?
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the final passage of this bill. Do I have any council discussion regarding the bill? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Bogus. Hiller.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Bliss.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
All in favor.
Okay, the city received 6 bids for the Prairie Hollow Water and Sewer Main Extension Project funded by the ARPA American Rescue Plan Act and funds. The infrastructure improvements will extend critical water and sewer services to the new Prairie Hollow development, fostering growth, to bringing new homes to the community. While the lowest bid was at $1,422,000, was the cost effective, the contractor's past performance on prior city projects raised significant concerns. Issues included missing tracer wires for service location, delays that led to liquidated damages, resident complaints, and untimely warranty repairs. In line with the city's financial policies, which require the review of contractors' past performance, it is recommended to award the project to the second lowest bidder, Do Right Construction and Evacuating LLC at $1,484,000. The project is within our planned budget for fiscal year 2025. So we need an ordinance on that, sir.
All right, call for the reading of the ordinance authorizing the agreement.
Bill number 2024-221, an ordinance authorizing an agreement for Prairie Hollow Water and Sewer Main Extension.
Second reading?
A motion is second for the second reading of this bill. Do I have any council discussion regarding it? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2024-221, an ordinance authorizing an agreement for Prairie Hollow Water and Sewer Main Extension.
Final passage.
Second.
A motion is second for the final passage of this bill. Do I have any council discussion regarding it? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Marshall.
Yes.
Bogus. Hiller.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Bliss.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Oldham. All in favor.
Motion passes.
Okay, next is a compost facility fees. Director Bray's team at the compost facility has developed a new product to provide to the public, demonstrating how we can turn recycled materials into valuable resources for the community. Through his presentation, he will provide a brief overview of the process, products, and fee schedule. As we look towards providing these additional services, it is important to emphasize the positive impact of recycling in this process. By offering a yard debris drop-off to our residents, we provide a convenient place for grass clippings, tree branches, and other recyclable materials. The natural materials are then used in the composting process to create this beneficial product. It is essentially important to note that the fees for these services are designed to remain comparable to those of other businesses, ensuring that we do not undercut private industry. At the same time, these fees are structured to cover the cost of providing this important service without placing an undue burden on the city's budget. This balance allows us to contribute to the community's environmental and economic well-being while maintaining fiscal responsibility. Up to you.
Hi, good evening. Matthew, did you want to play the video first?
Sure.
Thank you.
The City of Sedalia Compost Facility is located at 27882 Highway U. Community members drop off brush and yard waste at the collection point is transported to the compost production area for sorting and mixing. Yard waste is blended with biosolids to create bioblend compost or processed separately for natural blend compost and other soil amendments. Brush is stockpiled until it's ready to be ground into wood chips and used as compost raw material. Biosolids are received from city wastewater plants and mixed with leaf mold for moisture absorption and inoculation with beneficial bacteria. Biosolids are combined with yard waste, wood chips, and previous mixed leftovers in specific ratios to create a balanced compost mix. The compost mix is placed on aerated sided piles with a vacuum system to maintain monitored airflow. Compost undergoes the initial 3-stage processing to eliminate pathogens, reduce vector attraction, and break down organic material. The compost cooks in the piles for a minimum of 36 days with continuous monitoring of temperature, pH, and moisture content. After cooking, compost is moved to curing windows for an additional 30 days. The compost is first screened to remove any undecomposing organic or large material. Screened compost is placed back into windows and usually matures in 30 days. Upon reaching full maturity, compost undergoes a second screen for final appearance and quality checks for salmonella, toxins, metals, and plant nutrients. Test results from state-certified labs are received and processed. This usually takes 3 to 4 weeks. The composting process typically takes at least 45 days to complete at the compost facility. However, various factors such as weather, temperature, delays, and even a little luck can influence the production time, making it ideal rather than a guaranteed time frame. Finally, yard waste is sorted, screened, and prepared as a product or raw material for blends or stored for customer purchase.
Okay, so I also have a shadow box sitting right outside. I don't know if everybody was aware or was able to see it. It has 6 of our 9 products that we have out there. So if nobody got time to take a look at it, if you would, whenever we go out, if you'll leave, we're more than happy to take a look at it. It'd be great. So biorecycling, I'm just going to kind of put this into a gist. So the whole idea with the compost facility is that it's a recycling center for yard debris, waste, trees, brush, grass, leaves, anything that you can think of. We utilize every aspect of the green recyclables out there to either create bioblend compost, natural blends, and even with our wood pile, we're screening it and creating mulches as well as colored mulches as well. So we're offering brown and black. We're still trying to figure out the reds, but the whole gist of this is just basically that this is our footstep forward in trying to get into the green side of things in recycling. So with it being a materials management site, that's really our number one goal out there is recycling. Every product out there, even asphalt millings, is a byproduct of us paving. So current FY25 fees, inside city limits is $10 cubic yard. Outside is $11. Fine wood mulch inside city limits is $4.50. Outside is $5. Residual large chips are our overs, which is what's after our initial cook, and we've screened them out. Is $4, and outside city limits is $4.50. Our asphalt millings are $16.80 per yard, or $12 per ton. Our proposed price per cubic yard for fine wood mulch would be $20. Dyed fine wood mulch would be $25. This is price per cubic yard. Residual large chips or overs would go to $13. Unscreened mulch would be $5. Manufactured topsoil would be $35 per cubic yard. Bioblend compost would be $30 per cubic yard. Natural blend compost would be $30, and our asphalt millings would stay the same at $16.80 per yard or $12 per ton. Our other services that we're wanting to offer are hauling. We've not offered that before. So inside city limits would be $60 per load, and we're up to 8 yards per load can go in. And 80 per load, also 8 yards. And then our delivery distance would not exceed 5 miles past city limits. This service will be a dump and go. We're not going to spread it, and that's just going to be very time consuming for us to do that. So it'll literally just show up on site, dump it in a pile, and off to the next one. And then here's our deliveries on that. Do you have any questions?
Yes. Do you think it'd be wise or profitable to put compost in 50-pound bags for sale?
To be honest with you, I don't know if it would be profitable for us to do that. I know if you buy it from like, the main source in town, in order to get a cubic yard, you would spend about $80 to get the same product that we're trying to sell for 30 or 35. So, in a way, it possibly could, but we're looking at trying to get the best thing for our customers.
Thank you for your input. Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions, Council? All right, thank you, Justin.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I guess we need an ordinance on that, sir. Yep.
All right, call for the reading of the ordinance amending the compost facilities products and fees.
Bill number 2024-222, an ordinance amending compost facility products and fees and incorporating said fees into the city's fee schedule.
Second reading?
Second.
A motion and a second for the second reading of this bill. Do I have any council discussion regarding it? Have you heard none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2024-222, an ordinance amending compost facility products and fees and incorporating said fees into the city's fee schedule.
Final passage?
Second.
A motion and a second for the final passage of this bill. Do I have any council discussion regarding it?
I will say, the word profitable was used. This isn't designed to be profitable, it's designed to cover the cost, so there's something made towards the customer.
Thank you, Councilman Oldham. Anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Bogus. Hiller.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Bliss.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
All in favor.
Okay, next, following a formal recommendation from the Missouri Department of Natural Resources during the 2024 sanitary survey of Sedalia water filtration plant, it is necessary to professionally plug and seal well water number 7. The well has been out of service since approximately 1993 due to its lack of production and its proximity to water well number 9. After soliciting formal bids, Flynn Well Drilling Company of Troy, Missouri submitted the proposal of $30,000. This project has been accounted for in the fiscal year 2025 and the staff recommends approval.
All right, call for reading of the ordinance authorizing the agreement to plug and seal well number 7.
Bill number 2024-223, an ordinance authorizing an agreement to plug and seal water well number 7.
Second reading?
Second.
A motion and a second for the second reading of this bill. Do I have any council discussion regarding it? Having heard none, all those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2024-223, an ordinance authorizing an agreement to plug and seal water well number 7.
Final passage?
Second. A motion and a second for the final passage of this bill. Do I have any council discussion regarding it? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Hiller.
Yep.
Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Bliss.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Bogus. All in favor.
Motion passes.
Pettis County has announced their local municipality infrastructure improvement grant application for 2025. This resolution authorizes the mayor or city administrator to sign the application.
All right. Call for the reading of the resolution authorizing the submission of the application.
Resolution 2120, a resolution authorizing the submission of an application for the Pettis County Local Municipality Infrastructure Improvement Grant.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion to approve and a second. Do I have any council discussion regarding the resolution? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, the ultraviolet disinfection system at both the central and south wastewater treatment plants have expired electrical malfunctions, creating challenges in meeting environmental compliance requirements. Due to the age of the equipment, these systems are no longer supported by the manufacturer. Has advised that replacing the units is the most cost-effective solution. Trojan Technologies, the original manufacturer and sole source provider other system has quoted $100,000 for the necessary replacements, including the L33 control logic processors, power supplies, and upgraded HMI. This quote is within the budget allocated for repairs, and staff recommends acceptance of this quote.
Okay, call for the reading of the bill approving and accepting the quote for repairs.
Bill number 2024-224, an ordinance approving and accepting a quote for UV system purchase of L33ER control logic processors, power supplies, and upgraded HMI.
Second reading?
Second.
A motion is second for the second reading of this bill. Do I have any council discussion or questions for it? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2024-224, an ordinance approving and accepting a quote for UV system purchase of L33ER control logic processors, power supplies, and upgraded HMI.
Final passage.
Second.
A motion is second for the final passage of this bill. Do I have any council discussion regarding it? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Bliss.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Bogus. Hiller.
Yes.
All in favor.
Motion passes.
The city of Today is adapting the Vision Zero policy and the Safe Streets for Today action plan to eliminate traffic deaths and serious injuries on city roads by 2032. Between 2018 and 2022, 9 people lost their lives and 71 others were seriously injured in traffic crashes. This plan, funded through the Federal Safe Streets and Roads for All program, it focuses on safer street design, education, enforcement, and equality to address areas in the community most in need of improvements. It supports collaboration among government agencies, public health, law enforcement, and community members to make today's streets safer for all users. Adapting this plan aligns today with state and federal goals, including the Missouri Department of Transportation's Show Me Zero program. It prioritizes the data-driven safety improvements for vehicles, bicycles, and pedestrians while fostering community partnerships. By adapting Vision Zero and Safe Streets for Today action plan, the city will make an essential step towards reducing traffic-related tragedies and creating a safer, healthier community. In addition, adapting the plan prepares the city for the next phase of applying for improvement implementation of funding. Need an ordinance.
All right, call for the reading of the ordinance adopting and implementing the Safe Streets for Sedalia Action Plan.
Bill number 2024-225, an ordinance proclaiming the city of Sedalia's commitment to eliminate traffic fatalities and serious injury crashes by 2032 and the adoption and implementation of the Safe Streets for Sedalia Action Plan.
Second reading.
Second.
A motion is second for the second reading of this bill. Do you have any council discussion regarding it? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2024-225, an ordinance proclaiming the city of Sedalia's commitment to eliminate traffic fatalities and serious injury crashes by 2032 and the adoption and implementation of the Safe Streets for Sedalia Action Plan.
Final passage.
Second.
A motion is second for the final passage of this bill. Do I have any council discussion regarding it? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Foster.
Yes.
Bliss.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Bogus. Hiller.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
All in favor.
Okay, finally, the Central WWTP Aeration Basin Project contractor with Burns and McDowell had an original substantial completion date of December 9, 2024. Contractor was diligently worked to progress the project. However, unforeseen delays in electric equipment delivery caused by supply chain issues beyond their control have impacted the schedule. As a result, the contractor has requested a no-cost change order to extend the substantial completion date by 42 days, moving into January 2025. This is the first change order requested for the project, and the contractor has maintained clear communication with staff regarding the delays. Given the circumstance and the lack of additional costs to the city, it is recommended the city council approve change order number 001 to accommodate the revised timeline to ensure the successful completion of the project. And from what I understand, what we're still waiting on is electrical control boxes.
All right, call for the reading of the ordinance authorizing change order number 1.
Bill number 2024-226, an ordinance authorizing change order number 1 for time extension on central plant aeration improvements.
Second reading.
Second.
A motion and a second for the second reading of this bill. Do I have any council discussion regarding it? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2024-226, an ordinance authorizing change order number 1 for time extension on central plant aeration improvements.
Final passage.
Second.
A motion and a second for the final passage of this bill. Do I have any council discussion regarding it? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Bliss.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
August. Hiller.
Yes,
Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
All in favor.
that's all I have for tonight.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Hiller. Up next, we have community development. Chairwoman Foster, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. I have one item this evening. It is the extension of the 350 redevelopment plan. On May 8th, 2020, the council approved the creation of the Sedalia Redevelopment Corporation, an urban redevelopment corporation organized under and pursuant to Chapter 353, LISBO. The purpose of this amendment is to add to the downtown area, consisting of 92 acres and 334 parcels, to the 353 redevelopment area, known as the Midtown Residential Area. Adding this area will give the Sedalia Redevelopment Corporation the ability to utilize the tools outlined in the original urban redevelopment plan to remedy the blight and spur further reinvestment in the downtown area. Essentially, it is an economic incentive for historic building owners to improve their property.
Okay. Call for the reading of the ordinance approving the amendment.
Bill number 2024-227, an ordinance approving a superseding addendum to Sedalia Redevelopment Corporation's redevelopment area for the development plan approved on May 18, 2020, and declaring an area described in such superseding addendum to be a blighted area and its redevelopment necessary for the preservation of the public peace, prosperity, health, safety, morals, and welfare.
Second reading.
Second.
A motion and a second for the second reading of this bill. Do I have any council discussion regarding it?
It might be beneficial to the public to briefly explain what this tax incentive is, that it's a tax abatement for property owners, and that all who are in this area that's declared blighted have the opportunity to take advantage of this tax incentive so that they can increase their property value themselves.
Councilor Newell, will you handle that point of information, please?
Yeah, actually, Mr. Mayor, this particular 353 does not allow for tax abatement. So it's literally just a tool for the city to acquire properties that are blighted. So they've removed the tax abatement section of it.
Say the last part one more time.
This corporation does not allow for tax abatement.
Okay.
Specifically.
Okay.
It's literally just a tool to acquire properties within the district.
Okay, very good.
What's the method of a accrual then? What's the method? What would be the method of obtaining those properties?
It's either through state funds, federal funds, or city funds also.
Okay. Okay.
Councilor Newell, does this also allow for public funds to go ahead and be spent to remedy homeowners and property owners alike?
Yes, it does. If another corporation wanted to come in and apply, they'd have to reapply, create their own corporation, and then they could ask for the tax abatement for that specific corporation.
I think Councilor Newell, another point of information, does the original redevelopment plan include tax abatement?
It does not. It is specifically a tool to acquire properties that are blighted within this area.
That changes quite a bit, because that's not what we were informed of.
Yes. Yeah.
That changes
I think
a lot.
I think let's go ahead and, postpone this to the next meeting.
Yeah,
And I think we need to go back through and review that original redevelopment plan.
absolutely.
That doesn't have anything to do with the bylaw, will we?
Nope.
So I would entertain a motion to postpone to the
Motion to
next meeting.
postpone.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Do you have any council discussion regarding it? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Moving along to liquor licenses. Call for the reading of the liquor license.
We have one renewal tonight. Adam McMillan doing business as Walmart Store number 219 at 3201 West Broadway for packaged liquor and Sunday sales.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion to approve in a second. Do I have any council discussion regarding the approval of this liquor license? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Have any miscellaneous items from the city council?
Yes. I know that some of you are not happy with Sedalia. Sedalia is not a perfect city. No one agrees with that? Okay. I don't know of a perfect city, and I've been to just about every state in the union. Some have said that the city council votes yes on every issue proposed, which is true. Would it be best if we voted no? For instance, vote no to repair sewer problems, vote no to repair water wells, vote no to restore sidewalks, vote no to upgrade streets, to purchase vehicles and equipment, vote no on safety equipment for our police department, fire department, and our citizens, and the list goes on. The city council, mayor, and city administrator studies these issues very seriously and try to use good old Missouri common sense on all issues.
This is the perfect example right here, where you voted no. This did not happen in the second prior. I don't know whose idea this was.
Ma'am, if I could go ahead and call the meeting to order, there will be a time for public comment.
So if you ever have an issue, come to City Hall. You can find out the facts about the situations you have. With all that said, I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and remember the reason for the season. Thank you.
All right, Councilman Howard?
Okay, I just want to say, I want to commend our fire department and the Pettis County Fire Department and mutual aid in getting that fire under control there on Main Street on those two big buildings. And they did a wonderful job in getting those buildings out the best they could, as bad as it was burning. I will say this, I got real pissed when I read somebody posted on Facebook that the reason them buildings burnt down is because the city wanted them. The city doesn't want those buildings. We don't own them. I personally know the guy that does, and his stepson, good friend of mine, Chad Proctor. And I feel sorry for them because there were some good-looking cars inside those buildings that burned up. And they have insurance, and they're going to take care of having to tear those buildings down because they're completely destroyed. But no way did the city want those buildings. World Class Auto Body used to be down there. I've visited those buildings several times. The part that the east side of that building that burnt, that used to be our old clubhouse. A bunch of us, when we were racing together, that's where we went after the races to have a good time, played a little pool upstairs, and then they made it into an apartment. So before you say stuff, make sure it's true. I don't care what you say about me. I suppose you don't know nothing, but I think I know a lot. That I have respect for everyone out there, every citizen in the third ward, and as I've said in many closed door sessions, I don't care about the north side, the south side, the east side, the west side. I care about Sedalia, Missouri, and all the citizens in Sedalia. I'll fight just as hard for somebody in the second ward as I do the third ward. I have friends all over this city. So use some common sense about what you want to talk about. Want to wish you all Merry Christmas. Glad you're here with us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Heller. Anyone else? All right. And we heard none, we'll move along to the good and welfare section of our agenda. Before we begin, I'd like to remind everyone of the framework for this segment. Each speaker is requested to step forward, clearly state their name, address, and will be allotted 3 minutes to present their statement. Please note this is not a session for dialogue or debate with the council, nor is this a period for questions and answers. This is a time for you to make your voice heard, for us to listen, and your statements to be entered into the public record. We ask that all remarks be kept respectful and pertinent to community matters. With that, we'll open the floor.
Lord, be with me. Give strength to those who need courage. Amen. Councilman Oldham, I had a blast with you riding the Polar Express. You have a beautiful family. I want this election cycle to be celebrating. I have been secretly praying for your success for years. And I won't be able to contain myself when we start to talk about those successes, especially when they benefit the First Ward. I want to be your biggest cheerleader. I want to make signs that celebrate the things that have happened while you have been city councilman. I want kindness to return to the city council. There are people in our ward that is hurting. And I believe that, Tom, you and I are guided by the same light. Code enforcement has made one veteran homeless that I know of, and has hurt many others. Almost made another veteran homeless as well. I know you're not good with this. Let's work together to change code enforcement. Let's put an end to roving patrols of code enforcement and go back to a citizen complaint basis. Let's stop hurting our citizens in the First Ward. Let's give citizens at least 18 months to fix the problems they need to fix. My time is up. I only got 3 minutes. Hey, you threw him a curve tonight. Good job. Help me. Stop the pain in our First Ward, please. Let's work together for kindness and brotherly love of our neighbors. Let's love our neighbors as we love ourselves. We have an opportunity to make a powerful difference in 3 months. We can move the needle. Oh, my time is up. Look forward to having some more discussions with you, Tom. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, come on
up. Corey City, 1804, South Park. Bob, I agree with you. Sedalia is awesome. But if you look back at the history of Sedalia, almost every awesome thing has gotten shut down by the city government. Every cool thing, even the Ozark Music Festival. You think you guys would allow that to happen ever again? No. The things we want you to vote no on. We want you to vote no on lucrative golden parachute contracts for former city managers, providing them legal fees and legal services, whatever the term is you guys use, indemnify. So you're gonna indemnify him, and I think if you look back at other contracts, you're given, I would call them contractors, because I'm assuming that the project manager is someone who's just kind of outside. Well, you're not indemnifying them. You're not writing those in for, you're not gonna indemnify probably the person plugging the well, you're paying $10,000. Something bad happens, you're gonna go back to them, and you're gonna charge them. You're gonna want them to pay for whatever they did wrong. Putting in a written contract that something isn't nepotism makes it really seem like nepotism. From a judge in a wonderful case involving Fannie Willis and Donald Trump, the odor of mendacity, even if there isn't something wrong, just bringing it up, it obviously makes everybody seem like something's wrong. Tom, I think tonight's a perfect example. Everybody was going to vote yes, and it seems like nobody understood what you're voting yes on. So yes, we want you to vote no sometimes. If you come up here for the vote and you don't understand it, why are you voting yes? That makes no sense. So again, that's what we're asking for. We're not asking for the world. We're asking for you guys to actually practically look at these things. Yes, we want the sewer fixed, but I hope someone actually looked into that and isn't just saying we need $100,000 for this. Is it actually going to get fixed? Is it actually something that needs to be done? Because everybody else that comes in that wants money, they have a presentation and are going to give you a breakdown of exactly where that money's going to go. That never happens up here. So the same, just with this redevelopment. What did everybody I think learned today? The city has taken money to create a corporation that now isn't providing tax benefits to anyone, is going to be purchasing property. And now is that redevelopment corporation going to be purchasing those properties and paying the citizens for them? Or is the city going to be using code enforcement to find these people into foreclosure or where they can't pay the property taxes or do anything with it? That's what citizens think are going to happen. So nobody actually wants it. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good evening, David Goodson, 1640 Edge Apple Drive. I have to say, I agree with about everything Corey just said. In fact, he kind of stole some of what I was going to talk about. But one of the things I would like to ask each and every one of you, and this is no disrespect to Mr. Wirtz, I think he's a wonderful man, he was a great police chief. But when we fill this role for city administrator, we should have a nationwide search for the best, most qualified person to be the CEO of our city. There also should be a citizen board put together to be a part of this. I don't think that's too much to ask. I think you've got a lot of very qualified people in this community who would be great to be a part of that. Why do you think 4 seats? How long has it been since you guys have been opposed? 4 seats, 4 people opposing those seats for city council. It's because today is not happy. You guys don't communicate to us. We come up here, we heard people talk, you guys sit and look at us, but there's no dialogue. Mr. Mayor, I asked you last time, could you update us on where we're going to be with the lawsuit after the judge denied the motion, whatever day that was, 2 weeks ago? We still haven't heard anything. I know Steve was upset about my talk at the Pachyderm Club. All I did was told my story, how our group came to be. We didn't say anything bad about you guys. We just told our story. Jack came to our meetings, Tom, Chris, Tina, all of you were there, everybody except for Mrs. Foster could never give up stakeholders in the community the time of day to come visit with us. And that's a fact. All we're asking for is a little transparency, and in this new position, let's get more people involved so we can get the right person. And again, no disrespect to Mr. Burke. I think he's a great person, and I appreciate what he's done for our community. But we should have a nationwide search, and I'd urge you guys to all consider that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goodson. Anyone else?
Kevin Lujan at 408 West 22nd, soon-to-be former president of the Pettis County Pachyderm Club, but going to be vice president. I just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody, first. Second, I want to recognize some of the great work that has happened. A lot of people don't know about this, except unless you follow this closely. But Councilman Bless, you stood up and you fought against the charter government. And again, I think if we had gone down that path of looking at having a charter form, having an election, spending $100,000 on that, let alone what that would have meant for citizens around here, I think that would have been a terrible direction for the city to go. You didn't have to do that, but you did it. And so, again, thank you for doing that. I also know you're spending a lot of effort and energy trying to get the parties on the city and the county to try to come together on the road tax. And I know that's going to be up for a vote this year. I know you brought Kathleen's brother, Todd Smith, former presiding commissioner. You had trying to help get the county commissioners up to speed on everything. You don't have to do that, but you did it, and you continue to work hard. And again, I know some people have disagreed with some votes you've taken, but everybody should know what he's done to try to help make things better here. Just a couple other things. Bob Hiller, again, you just had hip surgery, but you're showing up to your committees. Didn't have to. You could take time off, and you're here tonight. Thank you. And Tina, my goodness, hearing your voice tonight, I really commend you for being here and still showing up to vote, so thank you for doing that. And then just Pachyderm Club programming. Again, David had referenced some things. Again, anybody who wants to come and speak at some point at Pachyderm to present your side of the city, more than welcome to. Let me know. Again, Stan Cox, former state rep, he'll be president. But it's been a couple of years since the mayor spoke, where he announced the Missouri Photo Workshop was coming to town. And again, some people here feel we're going in the right direction. Some people feel like we can do a lot better. And so I'd like to challenge the mayor, if you'd like to have a true debate, you present your side, because I think you feel we're going in the right direction. I think we can do a lot better. And again, if you don't want to have it at the Pachyderm Club, be happy to have it someplace else. And again, you present your case, I'd be happy to present my case why I think we can do better. So thank you for your time. All right.
I took a little trip there. All I can say is, guys, I wouldn't want none of your jobs. I wouldn't do it for love or money. Because I'd be in jail, probably, because I couldn't bite myself. But what I do want to say tonight, I'm here to represent my son and my future wife, Dana Melton. We own 5 buildings on Main Street. I beg the councilman to just, not tonight, not tomorrow, before you guys have one more meeting, I'd like for you guys, we own 5 buildings. You guys have the corner lot on the corner of Osage. From that corner lot to the T-shirt building, we own those 5 buildings. I'm not here to debate nothing. I'm asking you guys, I've hired a structural engineer firm. I'm going to get another one. But today it's got some serious issues going on with some buildings that's several years old, older than anybody in this room. Mr. Green, the sign you put up, we need to cancel one of them things. I've been a builder for 39 years. I don't claim to be a perfect one, but I can promise you, if you do away with the code enforcement in this town, you're not going to have a town. But what I'm asking you guys to do, please, before you have the next meeting, I want you to walk on that new sidewalk that you guys hired to put down. And I've asked some questions under the Sunshine Law, and I've not got all my answers yet. But I'd like to get them from someplace, because where I've asked for them at, I'm not getting them from. So I ask you guys, I encourage you strongly to go down and take a look at the front of those buildings, and you'll see what is the cause of what's going on with our block. So, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and thank you for letting me come forward.
Sir, could I get your name and address for the record?
Dwayne Dixon, 906 Sylvia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gary Oval, 821 South Arlington Avenue. My thought is on this finance report again. It's like when I get my money from my retirement, wow. But then the other shoe drops. I have to pay this bill, that bill, that bill. If we're gonna have a finance report, let's put in it what we're putting out, along with what we're putting in. What we're getting in, let's see if it balances right. That's a finance report to me. That's it. And my other thing was, I forgot to mention on the budget, if Sedalia does charge a tax, sales tax, if it includes food, I don't know it does, I have no idea, but if it does, it should be dropped. A tax on food is ridiculous. We can make enough money on sales tax on the items that shoot, look at Walmart, they come out of the store all the time, but you must be making millions. And another thing is, if you're gonna have a public hearing, proofread your agenda. Don't include anything that's gonna be referenced by us in the public hearing on the expansion, and then have a vote on something about where, it's like we had a public hearing, but nobody listened up there. That's just my thought.
Thank you, Mr. Lobo.
Kathleen Boswell, 4400 South Park. I've been up there, and I know how hard it is, and I know half of the council very, very well. And Mayor Dawson, I've come to your office, and we've had a pleasant, non-confronting conversation. I think the general public has no idea what you guys deal with, how thick that packet is when your information comes for you to go through before a council meeting. It isn't like they don't have any idea what you go through. I applaud you for the work you're doing and hope that you all have a nice election evening and good luck in 2025. Thank you for your work.
Thank you, Ms. Boswell. Anyone else?
I'm not a to the rest of them, sorry. My name's Heather Slagle. I'll give my address as soon as everybody else gives theirs.
711 West 6th Street.
There we go. Let's write them down. Next.
190 West Avenue. Mine's on the website.
Anyone else?
Mine's on the website.
Okay.
You're asking for our information?
Well, I don't know why we have to give ours.
It's for the public record, Ms. Flagel.
Okay. Well, I think it's just a little condescending when we're here for everything we're talking about, taking people's property and threatening. It's just unacceptable. The reason I'm here is because you guys passed with no objection a contract that Kelvin Shaw wrote with legal himself. Where does that even make sense? The person in question asked to step down, then writes his own contract, includes in it nepotism, and then it provides a provision for his son to advance in his career. Do you know what that looks like? You guys approved the firing of 4 firemen, 4 senior firemen. They lost their retirements, they lost their benefits, they lost their names, and you have I can't even believe you penned to bring them into this department after what you did to the senior firemen, and then you say you want to promote safety in this community? That's not promoting safety. You got rid of experience and wisdom. Those people should have been advanced to these careers. Daniel Shaw should never be fire chief, and if he ever is, that just proves my point, that this has been nepotism from the very beginning, and it should not continue. And you guys want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, then do what you're supposed to do and elect what you're elected to do and take care of the community members you're elected to take care of. Like, it's not that hard to do your job. I understand you might get a thick packet. That's what you're elected to do. Read it. Know what you're here. Know what you're voting on. Quit letting Kelvin Shaw and this legal team run our town.
Thank you, Ms. Light.
Debbie Covington, 2601 East 12th. I request all council committee meetings to be streamed. Tonight was a perfect example as to why this is so important. If you are going to be talking about forming businesses and corporations, projects, future plans, taking people's properties and leaving them homeless and land grabs, and you really want the public to be involved, streaming will allow us to be involved, especially people who work and can't be here during the week. It also allows us to refer back to the video later and learn. I saw a lot of eye rolls and shaking of the head when people got up to speak. But how are we supposed to know what is really going on when you all are meeting during the week and we don't know when they are and don't know what is going on? Otherwise, we have to send a sunshine request for a summarized version of the minutes of the meetings and get only a small part of the information and spend our hard-earned money that should be of no cost. Fidelity.com states all meetings, agendas, and minutes are located on your website. That is not true. We still have an issue with transparency. I believe Tom recently stated in an article, there is a group that yells, and we have Steve that gripes constantly about Facebook, but congrats, Steve. I noticed you took the plunge and now have a Facebook. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand why there is no transparency, and it also doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand the lack of transparency equates to frustration, yelling, and Facebook, a means for discussion and to be heard. Mr. Wertz, I challenge you in your new position to help the public be more involved and informed by streaming all the Sedalia Council Committee meetings and the Sedalia Redevelopment Corporation meetings for more answers and less speculation. It's a win-win for everyone if transparency is truly important to you and your administration. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Renee Vance, 19813 Tanglemuck. Mine's going to be really calm tonight. I'm just here to remind you that the Sedalia Senior Center's Christmas Mystery Box fundraiser, we're taking orders until Friday. It's $20 for a box of homemade goods, and the orders will be picked up on the 24th between 10 and 2. And we also have our brand new quarterly menu fundraiser that Mr. Goodson was nice enough to sponsor, and it will be January 12th, which is the second Sunday, 11 to 1, and we are having our breakfast. Pancakes, bacon, sausage, biscuits, gravy, scrambled eggs, and fruit. So $12, $5 for kids. So look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pam. Next, Mona.
Harry Hofer, 1408 South Barrett. You know, I put a lot of thought in what I was going to say and be nice today. I'd like to reiterate, this lady here, I know a lot of firemen. I'm not going to say Shaw is not the one to believe to be that person. I'm not going to say that. I've talked to a lot of firemen, even some of the older ones. Yes, it was pretty crappy how all that went down with the fourth prior, but for knowledge, for his position, he's probably the most suited for that position after talking to several firefighters. With that said, the quickest thing I've ever seen happen in this building was Shaw's name being taken off of that little slide right there. I mean, that's the quickest thing that's been addressed. If you guys would just look at us and you all been here, you all been us and came to meetings with prior administration and questioned things. But how could you look at us from our point and a person, when you all posted out that he agreed to retire? It's not, I didn't know he had to agree to retire. So obviously there was some reason that he was meant to retire. But for him to write his own exit plan and to put that in perspective, is that the new plan going forward? Is Mr. Wirt going to write his new exit plan when it's time for him to go?
or is he gonna have to stick with that one? I mean, is that the position that everybody that leaves or decides they're gonna get out can write their own, the way they wanna go out and the way they wanna do that? I just think that there's no way that all of you could have sit back with, I hate saying this word, common sense, and felt that it was 100% okay for a man that brought tons of negative stuff to you guys. A lot of you guys don't deserve it. A lot of you, I think, probably do. But he did that, but yet you all were saying, okay, like you always do. Tonight showed me right there, there's a big miscommunication in all here. And I think we all need to sit back and look, because I think the heat's coming on you because of how Shaw left his way to get out how he wanted. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Michelle Abney, 1800 East Harvey. So, Mr. Croft, I don't think that they're saying we want you to vote no on everything, but we don't ever hear any kind of discussion. And to me, the reason that we don't hear the discussion is because you guys have given so much authority to these boards and commissions that they make the decision and tell you what you're supposed to do. I think we elect you. The other boards and commissions could make a suggestion, but we would like to hear some kind of dialogue, a little bit more about the subject. And every one of you have lifted your heads, except for you, Ms. Foster. Do you not care what any of these people are saying? Never once have you lifted your head and looked at anybody. And still not. So the other thing I have to say is I agree with Mr. Hofer and everybody else about Shaw. He made his own exit plan. That's unheard of. I don't know any other time that we've ever had a project manager making the money that man is making. I think that Mr. Ward has been here long enough to be the interim person until we decide, with hopefully a group of citizens on a committee, to elect our next administrator. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, having heard none, I'll
Entertain a motion to close for session for legal advice, real estate, personnel, and negotiation.
Second. I got a motion, I got a second. Do you have any council discussion regarding the move to closed session? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Robinson.
Yes.
Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Bogus.
Yes.
Miller.
Yeah.
Cross. Yes. Foster.
Yes.
Bliss.
Yep.
Get you this on top.
Hey, Renee.
Thank you.
Renee.
This conference will now be recorded.
Recruiting list for option 1 and option 2 are the same. Where you send out the email,
Yeah.
you're going to get everybody the same.
Cool.
Email?
I don't get cold.
When's gooseberry season?
Hurry up, you guys. I got it.
Oh, is that what it is? Do you like gooseberry pie? Do you like gooseberry pie?
I don't know what it is.
She makes the best gooseberry pie.
You have to like this.
Yeah, I like gooseberry. Very, very tart.
They look like small green grapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been quite,
Are they bitter?
No, they're very, very tart.
Tart.
Very, very tart.
You guys have puppies, dogs?
Yes, because
Roxy.
Roxy doesn't get off his lap. That's his best of the best. So mean mugger. Doesn't she, Bob?
Yeah, so that's why you always got fleas, because you're over there. I get
Mean
fleas.
mugger. She's a mean mugger.
Motion to enter open session?
Second.
Well, to return, can I get that in form of a motion to return?
Motion to return to open session.
Second. A motion to second. Any council discussion regarding that? If not, roll call, please.
Robinson?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Marshall?
Yes.
Bogus?
Yes.
Hiller?
Yep.
Cross?
Yes.
Foster?
Yes.
Bliss?
Yes. All right, we have a couple items from the closed door session. I will now entertain a motion and a second to, authorize the signature of the Memory Lane's term sheet.
Motion to approve the term sheet for Memory Lane.
Second. I have a motion and a second authorizing the signature of the Memory Lane's term sheet. Do I have any council discussion regarding that? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Jason, can I get a, keep poll of the council, please?
Sure. Robinson?
Yep.
Oldham?
Yes.
Marshall?
Yes.
Bogus?
No.
Hiller?
Yeah.
Cross?
Yes.
Foster?
No.
Bliss?
Yes.
So
Okay.
you have 6 yes and 2 no.
All right, motion passes. Next item, I will entertain a motion in a second to approve the Community Engagement Director, job description.
Motion to approve job description of community engagement director.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any council discussion regarding that? Having heard none, all those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Jason, can you go ahead and poll the council for me, please?
Sure. Robinson?
Yes.
Oldham?
No.
Marshall?
Yes.
Bogus?
Yes.
Hiller?
Yeah.
Cross?
Yes.
Foster?
Yes.
Bliss?
Yes.
7 yes, 1 no.
Okay, motion passes. All right, with that, I will go ahead and entertain a motion and second to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn?
Okay. Any council discussion regarding the adjournment of the meeting? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Meeting adjourned.